Hey guys, welcome back to Sparkman Homestead. My name is Krista and we're in the kitchen today because I have a huge freezer making day planned today. I've got my list right here of all of the meals that I'm hoping that we can get accomplished today. Last night I took out the meat that I thought I was going to use, so it's all in here. Some of it is not defrosted because they're really big pieces, like for example this turkey breast, it's pretty frozen still, so I might put this in some cold water in the sink to try to speed up the thawing time, and then we'll just get prep some of the meals that don't require that turkey. The other thing that I'm going to do as well as making the meals is I'm going to fry up a whole bunch of sausage. So I took out 2 pounds of each kind of sausage, so I have a spicy, a medium, and a mild sausage, and then I'm just going to cook it up and just put it into freezer baggies and then throw it in the freezer, and then that way when I want to have like a really quick, like let's say biscuits and gravy one morning, I'll already have the sausage pre-cooked. I can just throw it in a dish with some broth and make like a really quick soup. So we're gonna get that all prepped today as well. We have a big kitchen day planned today. I'm excited. I made some space in my freezer to get all of these meals pre-prepped. I've just found that having pre-prepped meals has kind of been a blessing lately because my life has definitely been turned upside down. So having pre-made freezer meals is a requirement right now. Let's check and see what other meat we have that isn't quite defrosted yet either. So most of these sausages are defrosted, so we'll just put those over there because we're gonna get those fried up right now. Got some chicken breasts out. Those are still frozen as well. I think because they were at the bottom of everything in here pretty much frozen still. Okay. This is half thawed. This is thawed out. This is some turkey, ground turkey. Okay, so pretty much everything is still frozen, which is, I thought so, because yesterday I took it out like midday and then I had to put it in the fridge overnight because I didn't want it sitting on the counter overnight. So I expected it to be like this, but it's fine. That ground sausage will take a little bit just to cook up. So I'm gonna add some cold water to my sink. I need to get the stopper in here first. Get the stopper in. These are all still in their packages, so it's fine for them to be in the sink. Cold water turned on. While that's filling up, let's get our cast iron. So I'm going to try to get 2 batches going at one time. Okay, so we will, hopefully you guys can hear me with that water running. We will get started with, I'm going to wait till the water's done so you guys can hear me. Okay, the water is done now. I have them all sitting in that. Hopefully they will thaw out pretty quickly. We're gonna take it easy today and go nice and slow and get these all prepped. Okay, so to start out, we're gonna start with doing the medium and the mild because I don't want to do the spicy in the pan and then have that spice still in when I'm doing the mild. So we'll start out with getting 2 pounds of this medium sausage. It's like an Italian sausage. It's really super delicious. Really should make like some sausage patties too. I made some sourdough English muffins the other day. I'm still kind of practicing on how to make them, so they didn't turn out the best, but still it is really nice to make our own kind of sausage breakfast sandwiches. What am I doing here? The mild. I think this one's over 1 pound, but that's okay. I'm gonna put them all in the same Ziploc baggie together. I love this little chopper that I have. I think I bought it on Amazon, and I think I actually have it linked in my video description. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. I'm trying to burn the sausage and trying to cook it. We'll get the mediums put into this cast iron over here. The other thing that I did last night was I made some chili. We didn't end up eating it last night because we had so many appetizers. It was Super Bowl last night, and so we were just kind of snacking all night. I was crocheting and Steven was watching the game. Anyways, I made a huge thing of chili and we didn't end up eating it. So what I did is I took these little freezer containers. I picked them up on Amazon. They are perfect for freezing freezer meals. So I just put the chili into 2 of these. This one will be enough for me and Steven for one night. So I kind of pre-prepped some chili to go in the freezer as well. So I won't show you guys on this particular video how I made this, but this will be on next week's What We Eat or this week's What We Eat in a Week video. I show you guys how to make this. This is so easy to make and it is so delicious, and you can kind of cater it to what your family likes in your chili. Okay, so the medium one, or sorry, the mild one is done. I have a bowl and a strainer here. It is a really, really high fat sausage. Like, it's really, really greasy. So, sorry, I'm just getting a handle here. I want to drain some of that grease off before we put it into the bag. So this is the mild. Just gonna strain it out here. I usually save my bacon grease for cooking. It's in the fridge. This is just like a grease for like ground beef, or in this case, like sausage. I'll show you guys how much fat is in here. Now, because this is flavored, I mean, I could probably use this grease and it would add really good flavoring to stuff. Like if I was gonna fry potatoes or something, which, you know what, I might save that to fry some potatoes in, because that would be really delicious. Maybe I'll save the spicy one. But otherwise, I just put it in this jar, and then once the jar gets full, I'll either give it to my chickens or I will just put it in the garbage. Okay. So we want that just to cool down just a touch. I'm gonna get the spicy stuff going now. The medium is almost done also. They come with these like metal tops on them. They're kind of hard to get off. Wash my hands after this from touching the sausage and disinfect my countertop. Okay, I got a phone call in the middle of doing that, so I almost burnt the sausage. In fact, I actually did burn the medium a little bit, but that's fine. I was also washing my chopper because we need it for our other meat that we're gonna do. So I have taken some freezer Ziploc baggies and I just labeled them hot, medium, mild, and then put the date on them. So we are gonna do this one first. I got these really cool things from Amazon. I'm gonna see if they actually work. They're supposed to make putting stuff in a bag easier. We'll see how much easier it makes it. I tend to be a little bit of a klutz, so if I can make things easy. I only spilled some of it, that's good. I'm not gonna close this bag yet because it is still kind of hot. So I'm gonna just leave it open over here in the corner. We have the medium also done. So I'm gonna get the bag on here and then get that medium strained out too. Medium I kind of burnt a little bit. Let's take this and put it in my grease jar. Oh no! The other really cool thing to do with this is we have a lot of birds here, and like they like to hang out on my deck. So I'm thinking maybe with this fat, I might take some bird seed and make like a little thing full of bird seed with the fat. Just make like a little block and leave them on the deck for the birds. I might do that with this because I don't like to waste it. I'd rather give it to my friends outside. Clean up all this grease. Okay, and this one is the burnt medium. It's a little crispy. Done. This was an easy task to start with, which is nice. I mean, all of these, sorry, I'm just washing my washcloth here. All of these meals that we're making today are very, very easy meals to make. It's just, gotta make them all. Okay, let's finish cooking that hot sausage. Okay, we got the last one done. One thing we can take off the list. I love Xing things off my list when I've done them. I want to get this washed right away too because it's easier to wash it when it's hot. This is the hot one now, so we're gonna get this one in, or not the hot one, the spicy one. I just call it hot because they mean the same thing. This is crazy how much grease we got off these. That's how much grease we got. That's why I drain it. It's a little bit too much. It's good flavoring for other things, but I don't really want it in the bag with this. Okay, so we got our 3 bags sausage. This is 6 pounds of sausage cooked. That all we have to do is just quickly heat it up and it's done for a meal. And we're gonna leave these things out because our other freezer meals require us to put them in freezer bags. I think we got the most dirtiest task done with first because that was a lot of grease. Okay, so what meals we are going to make today, like full meals. We are gonna make a beef and broccoli. I have done this one before and it is our favorite beef and broccoli recipe. It's so easy to assemble and it's so easy to cook. I will leave all of the links for these recipes for you guys in the video description below if you wanna give them a try. They'll be in there. We're also going to do a sesame honey. Now the original recipe calls to use chicken breast, but I was looking through my chicken breast and I only have 3 pounds left of chicken breast. We are processing more chickens this year, but we will not have chicken until like chicken breasts. We have like chicken drumsticks and stuff like that. But actual chicken breast, which is what we eat the most of, we will not have any more until May when we process our chickens. So what I'm gonna be using, I have a whole bunch of turkey breasts. We're gonna be using turkey breasts instead. So we're gonna do a sesame honey turkey. Hopefully it turns out okay because turkey breasts, I usually like to slow cook so that they get more tender, but we're gonna see if it's gonna work. And then we're also gonna make a Mongolian beef chicken teriyaki, so we are gonna use chicken for that though. We're gonna make a pizza soup, which sounds delicious. I've never made this one before, so we'll see how it is. We're gonna do a meat and potato casserole, and then we already did our sausages. So that is the plan for today. I can take sausage off our list. Yay. I love Xing things off the list. So I think what we'll do next is we will get the beef and broccoli assembled because the beef is pretty much defrosted and it is okay if it's just still a little bit frozen. In fact, it's best to be a little bit frozen because it's really easy to get into thin slices when it is half frozen. So we will get the beef and broccoli started next. I actually have to go into the garage. I'll take you guys with me because I forgot to get the broccoli out. I buy my broccoli from Azure Standard. It's a frozen 5 pound bag. This recipe, it works amazing in because it's little florets and it just seems to work really, really good with this recipe. So grab that right here. I don't think that there's anything else that I need out of the freezer. We have made a whole bunch of freezer space to put these freezer meals. Really nice. Oh, we have to say hello to our seedlings today. Look at these onions. I need to come in and give them another haircut. I give them a haircut about every 3 days. And look at the size of these artichokes already. They're getting huge. And then I have a whole bunch of little starts under there. In a couple of weeks, we are gonna get our peppers and our tomatoes started too, so I'm so excited about that. I posted a video for you guys, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but last week's video was showing you what I have going into my 2024 garden. I'll leave a link here for you guys. I did a 2-part series on it because, or not a 2-part series, I did 2 videos because they were gonna be really, really long. So I will link the videos for you guys if you want to check it out. It's what we're gonna be growing for our food next year. I'm so excited. Today is not like a beautiful day outside. It's really rainy and we're supposed to actually get snow tonight. Well, not this far down. The upper part of Kentucky is supposed to get snow. We're just supposed to get like thunderstorms and stuff. So fingers crossed they don't go bad. They won't go bad. It's gonna get too cold. Or it is too cold. It's not like we're going from hot to cold. Anyways, I am blabbing and we need to get started with the beef and broccoli. So I'm gonna put you over here so that you guys can see me and see what I'm doing. Hopefully perfectly fine. I just have my vinegar solution out because I have been disinfecting everything as we go along. I guess I need my recipe first. Where's my phone? How many times a day I say, where's my phone? These original recipes I found on Pinterest a couple of years ago. Actually, I just saved them on here. A couple of these recipes are all from the exact same blog, so I will leave the original blog for you and then you can go in, and I think she has 15 recipes in total in this one particular link that I'm going to leave for you guys, so there's other ones you can explore as well. I just picked the ones that we would like the most. Okay, so we got to get all the ingredients out. We need some cornstarch. I'm going to use arrowroot instead of cornstarch. I just like to use that instead. Beef broccoli teriyaki, super easy. You need to have 1 gallon size bag and 2 quart size bags for this one. Everything goes in one big bag, but you need to have the sauce and the beef separate. Okay, so we're gonna get the sauce started first. I went and grabbed my big thing of, you can use soy sauce or you could use this. This is what we're gonna use, the liquid aminos. So we need to add ½ cup of that to this bowl. I'm gonna leave this out because there's a couple other recipes that we use this in. We need 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. A lot of you guys have asked me where I got my wooden spoons from. I picked these up from Hobby Lobby and I got them last year. I got them in the summertime and I'm hoping they bring them back again because some of mine are starting to crack and I love these. So we are gonna add 4 tablespoons of brown sugar to this. And I'm just using a light brown sugar. And I'm kind of semi-packing the tablespoons. Just gonna get a whisk out. And it says about 1 clove of garlic. So I already have my pre-minced garlic here. I actually bought a whole bunch of garlic at Costco the other day. So I need to get some of it cubed up again because I love having this in the freezer. It's just minced garlic that I put in these little cube things. I'll show you. So I got these little cube things on Amazon and I have them labeled garlic because I cannot use anything else in them anymore because they have a very potent smell of garlic. So these are reserved now for my garlic project. So what I do is I just mince all of my garlic. I get a really big bag at Costco or Sam's Club. Spend like literally an hour just mincing it up. My hands stink like garlic and the house has a beautiful fragrant garlic smell. I love it. If you don't like garlic, you wouldn't like that, but then I take the little minced garlic and I just put them in these little cubes. I put them in the freezer, freeze it until it's cube shaped like this. Then I put them in a baggie, and then whenever I need garlic, I just grab them. About 2 or 3 cubes equal about 1 clove. We love garlic, so I definitely am heavy on adding the cloves. I've gone through it very, very quickly because I love having the garlic in everything. So that's what I do for that. Quick little trick. Well, I guess it's not a quick little trick because you have to spend a little bit of time doing it, but it is a time saver in the long run. Okay, and then we need about ½ teaspoon of minced ginger. I'm just gonna take some ginger and just zest in what I think is ½ teaspoon. And then we need 1 teaspoon of sesame seeds. I'm sorry I'm cut off, guys. I'm trying to see maybe if I can get these. And this plant thing's in the way. My kitchen's so small. Maybe just move you guys back. Can you see me better? Kind of. We'll go with that. So we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of sesame seeds. I'm just using a white sesame seed. I also have stainless steel measuring spoons and I like to use these for like liquid because sometimes with the wood it can like make, I don't want the scent to stay on the wood. So we're gonna add ½ teaspoon of sesame oil to this. I have another one because I think another recipe that we're doing calls for sesame oil also. This is again why I buy everything in bulk because I hate running out of stuff. And then we need 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. I'm just gonna eyeball it. That's it for the sauce, so let's whisk it up. Okay, so we have a quart size, I think it's quart, yeah, quart size Ziploc baggie. I was just looking at the package over there, the box. We're gonna add the sauce to here. Try to get the air out of it without spilling it. Put this aside for a minute. Okay, next we need to take 3 to 4 cups of broccoli florets. So I'm gonna go with the 4 cups because we love broccoli. I have made this, I think I said this at the beginning, I have made this before as a freezer meal and it is so, so good. It defrosts amazing and it turns out really, really good. So this one is a meal I definitely recommend. And then we're just gonna put the broccoli in here. I'm gonna go with the 4 cups. This one's kind of frozen together. We'll call that a cup. Should go with 3.5 cups. Put this aside. And now we have a sirloin steak here. This recipe just says thinly sliced steak and she recommends using 1 pound of it. It does not have the weight on here, but I did request that they package them into 1 pound packages. It does have a huge bone in it, so we have to cut around that bone. So I'm just gonna cut the fat off of this because I don't like chewing on fat. I'm actually gonna save these fat pieces and the bones to make a broth with. So you wanna thinly slice it. You could buy like a flank steak also, that would do really well for this. I just usually use sirloin with it and I'm going like that thin, pretty thin slices. This would also be really good with chicken as well if you don't eat beef or you don't like beef. Chicken is really good with this. One thing I do to help when I'm cutting, you notice my cutting board keeps spinning. Put a towel underneath it and it does not do that. Okay, we got all of the beef sliced up, so I'm gonna take another quart-sized bag. I don't need my thing here. I'll just put it in here. Move this out of the way. Wash my hands. Then we're gonna take a 1/4 cup of arrowroot. You can use cornstarch also. I'm gonna dump it in here. Just close the bag up, and you just wanna make sure all of the beef is completely coated with the cornstarch or arrowroot. I could have done this in a bigger bag. I think that would have been a good option to do it in a gallon size. I think that's what I did last time. So then you're gonna add this bag to this. You're gonna add this to this, and that's your meal in a bag. Just try to get some of the air out. Another one done. So in order to cook this, what you do is you just take the beef and the cornstarch and then you add a little bit of oil to the pan. You wanna fry that up. It says about 3 to 4 minutes you wanna fry that up. Then you're gonna add the broccoli, cook for 1 to 2 minutes until that is tender. And then you wanna add the sauce and then cook until everything's combined. So it comes together really, really quickly, like within 15 minutes. And you don't need to pre-thaw it. So just take it out of the freezer and go. So this one, like I said, this one is a highly recommended one. We've done this before and it tastes really, really good. Like that teriyaki sauce is really delicious. Okay, so we're gonna get started on the second one. So the next one we're gonna get started is a honey sesame chicken. And this one says it's really good to have with lettuce wraps. So obviously we're not gonna put the lettuce in the freezer. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna prep the chicken and we're gonna prep the sauce, get that into freezer gallon bags, and then when we wanna make it, all we'll do is just defrost everything, cook up the chicken with the sauce, and then prepare the lettuce wraps just to have on that day. So I'm taking 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and I'm just cutting them up into bite-sized pieces. And kind of the same way that we did the steak or the beef one, how we put it in with the cornstarch, we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna add these cut chicken breasts to a quart-sized gallon or to a quart-sized bag with the arrowroot because I'm not using the cornstarch. But again, you can use cornstarch, and we'll just mix it together and add it to a bigger bag. I'm so sad that we only have a couple more chicken breasts left in the freezer. We didn't do as many chickens last year because we knew we were doing turkeys, but we love chicken. I'm gonna wash my hands. You know what I realized? I said I was gonna do this with the turkey and we're doing it with the chicken. That's fine. We'll do what we would do chicken teriyaki, we'll just do that with the turkey. We're gonna take our chicken breasts and just put them into this little bag. We need 1/3 cup of cornstarch or arrowroot in this. Same thing, just close up the baggie and just kind of toss it till all the chicken's covered in the arrowroot. Another thing thing I wanted to let you guys know, these are meals for 2 people. If you obviously are feeding more than 2 people, you're gonna need to up these quantities or at least double the recipes. This is just gonna be for Steven and I, so it's not a lot. That aside, and we're gonna get the sauce made now. To get the sauce started, we're gonna take 1/4 cup of honey. Next up, we need 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, or you could use liquid aminos, or you could use like a coconut aminos. 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, or probably equal to 1 clove. So I'm gonna add 4 little cubes in here. 1 teaspoon of sesame seeds, and then 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Again, I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. Just give it a stir. Handy little thing again. Kind of spilt it on the sides. Clean that up a bit. So again, I have my bag labeled. The other thing that you can do as well is put the cooking directions on the bag as well, so you don't have to bring the recipe up. I just didn't really think about that ahead of time. So just take your 2 little bags and then put them in here. And that is our second one done. Okay, so to cook this, like I said at the beginning, all you do is just take some buttered lettuce or regular iceberg lettuce, just cut it up. You can also put like green onions, cucumbers, anything like that on there. Crispy rice noodles, it suggests. That would be delicious. So you want to put the chicken and the cornstarch, you want to fry that up until it's nice and cooked in about 3 to 4 tablespoons of an oil. And then once it gets nice and browned up, it says about 4 minutes, then you're going to add the sauce in, get that good and thick, about 1 to 2 minutes. So again, this is another meal that comes together really, really quickly if you are in a hurry. It's perfect. You don't need to have it defrosted at all. That's the one thing that I like about these particular freezer meals, is because they don't require me to think in the morning to take the casserole dish out. I mean, we will be making one in a casserole dish, so I'll have to do that. But a lot of times if I am using a freezer meal, it's because I literally have forgotten about supper and I don't know what I want to do and I need something quick. And these freezer meals that are in these casseroles are great, but you have to remember to take it out in the morning. And that's not why I need a freezer meal. I need it literally to be a prepared meal that I can just put in a frying pan and cook it through. And these ones are really good for that. But again, we are gonna be making one casserole that will require a little forethought on my end. But anyways, okay, we'll get started with the third one now. Okay, the next one we're gonna do is a Mongolian beef. Now, I didn't realize that this was actually a slow cooker meal. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna do everything in this one bag. That's what the original recipe says, is just to put all the ingredients, just throw it in this bag. The day we want to cook this, all we're gonna do is just take this out of the freezer, plop it frozen into a slow cooker, and we're gonna cook this on low for 4 to 5 hours. So again, from freezer to slow cooker without having to worry about thawing it. It does also say if you want to cook this in a skillet, what you can do the morning of is take this out of the freezer, put it in a casserole dish in your fridge, let it defrost all day, and then from there just take the stuff from the bag, throw it into a skillet, and then just cook it in the skillet. It suggests serving this over top of cauliflower rice or just regular rice. So I wrote that on there also. So I'm just gonna take off, we've already did the beef and broccoli, so I can take that off. We did the sesame honey turkey, well, we did it with chicken. Okay, let's get started. So we got our beef all cut up, and I just cut it up in thin strips like we did to make the beef and broccoli. And I used 1 pound. The recipe does suggest using 1.5 pounds. Mine might be 1.5 pounds. The weight was not on the package, but I'm gonna assume it's 1 pound once the bone's been removed. This one only calls for 1 tablespoon of arrowroot, so we're gonna add that into the beef. Close it up, give it a quick shake. I wanna do that before we add any of the sauce in here. Okay, so the next step we have to do is take 2 carrots, because it calls for 1/2 cup of shredded carrots. So I'm gonna take 2 pretty big carrots, just peel them, and then we're gonna shred them and then add them to that bag. give my chickens these peelings. Get them rinsed off, cut the ends off, and then just use a box grater and just shred them up. It's probably over half a cup, but that's fine. Add it in. Add it into this bag here. Okay, we're gonna get the sauce done next. So to start, we're gonna take half a cup of this. You could use soy sauce, coconut aminos, again, just like all the other recipes. They're pretty interchangeable depending on your dietary needs. You can use whatever you want. The recipe actually calls for coconut aminos. We got coconut aminos and we were not fans of it. We definitely prefer this over it. There was just something about it, I don't know, we just didn't like it. We got the Azure brand and it was not our favorite. Then you're gonna take half a cup of beef broth. So I'm just using some of my home canned beef broth. Add that to the bowl. And then we're gonna take 2 teaspoons of an apple cider vinegar. I forgot the salt and the pepper. You need 1 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Black pepper. Okay, and then we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of a coconut sugar. It does say you can omit this if you are doing like a Whole30 diet. We're gonna add it. You could probably just use regular sugar as well in this. We're gonna do coconut sugar because I have it. 3 cloves of garlic. So we'll add in quite a bit. And then it says 1 thumb of ginger grated. So we'll just kind of eyeball it. Put in as much as we kind of would like. I think that should be good. And then we will whisk it together. Now the garlic is still kind of frozen in cubes in here, but that's fine. When we put it in the slow cooker, it will all melt anyways. And then we'll just add this to the bag. It smells really good. I've never done this particular one before. This is a new recipe for me, so I'm excited to try it. Okay. And then we'll just get everything mixed together in here. And it says just to lay it flat to freeze it. This is exciting. We got our 3rd one done. We're getting it done. 1 day of work and we literally have meals for the next 5 to 6 days, even more than that. If you have the freezer space, it's worth it. I usually don't have freezer space, but right now I kind of made some space because I need to get freezer meals in my freezer for my upcoming life. Okay, so for the chicken teriyaki, I was gonna do a different recipe, but then I started looking at the recipe a little bit more and I didn't really like it. So what I'm gonna do is that very first recipe that we made with the beef and broccoli, I am just gonna use that teriyaki sauce mix. And I'm just gonna do 1 bag with turkey and the other bag with chicken breast. And we're not gonna put the broccoli in with it. We're just gonna call it chicken teriyaki. And the day that we wanna have that, we can just have that with edamame beans on the side and some rice or whatever we choose to have that night with it. And we can even make broccoli if we want it, but I'm not gonna put the broccoli in the bag. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the turkey first. It's kind of still frozen, but again, that's okay that it's frozen. And we're just gonna cube it up into bite-sized pieces. And then we're just gonna follow the exact same recipe that we did for the very first one. And I'm probably gonna end up putting these into smaller pieces just because turkey is not, I find that this turkey is a little bit more tougher. I don't know why, maybe we didn't let the birds rest long enough, I don't know. And then I need to get a bag for these. I'm just gonna put them in my sauce bowl. Not where they belong. Okay, I'm gonna bring you guys down here. I know it's my hands, it's not as good, but I wanna show you how I'm making this sauce kind of more up close. So I have the turkey breasts here. This is just over a pound of turkey breast. This is just under a pound of boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Both of these are boneless. This is boneless, skinless turkey breasts. Okay, so what we need to add to these is 1/4 of arrowroot powder to both of them. You can, again, use cornstarch. So we'll add that. Actually, I'm probably not gonna add as much to this because it doesn't really need as much to that one. Probably just gonna add a couple of tablespoons to here. Close this up. And then, okay, and because we have more meat in here, I'm gonna add the full 1/4 cup. We're gonna do our first batch of our teriyaki sauce. So 1/2 cup of soy sauce, liquid aminos, coconut aminos, whatever you wanna use. And our 4 tablespoons of brown sugar, teaspoon of garlic. I don't know if you can hear it in the background or not. My chickens are screaming right now. Probably fighting over the same nesting box. And then we're gonna grate in about 1/2 a teaspoon of ginger. 1 teaspoon of sesame seeds, 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Again, I just kind of eyeball this because we like the heat. And then 1/2 a teaspoon of the sesame oil. Oh, it's a brand new one, I need to open it. And then we'll just stir it up. This is going to be the turkey one. So we'll take the turkey, put it in here, and take this and put it in here. There we go. That one's done. So I'm going to repeat the exact same thing for the chicken. I had to stop and eat some lunch. I was getting a little hungry making all of this food that I wasn't going to be eating. So I just stopped, had some leftovers. So I'm feeling good and feeling ready to finish this freezer cooking day. We have 2 more meals to make. Now I was gonna do this meat and potato casserole, but I decided to actually make it for supper tonight instead. So you will see that. I think that's gonna come out in a couple of weeks. You'll see that meal, but it looks pretty good. I've never tried it, but we're gonna make it tonight for supper. So the other 2 things that we are going to make is this pizza soup, which I'm really excited to see how it turns out because it looks pretty good. And then we are gonna make some ground turkey meatballs. So we have all of that thawed out here. I noticed that I am really low on meatballs. That is one thing that I love to keep stocked in my freezer because they are such a quick and easy thing just to take out, throw some pasta sauce with it and noodles, and you have a meal, and it's really, really quick. So we're gonna get some of those made up. I've shown you guys so many times how I make my meatballs. I really don't have a set recipe. I will leave the directions below for you what I am putting in this particular batch, but it's really just basic flavors, like a garlic flavor, an onion flavor, a little bit of a smoke flavor. I like to put an egg. You'll see. I don't need to explain it right now. I'm gonna show you guys. So let's get this pizza soup started. This one I'm excited to try. Hopefully it turns out good because it sounds delicious, and we get to use some of our tomato sauce. I canned up so much tomato sauce this year. Last night's chili, I think I used 3 of these in the chili, so I was really, really excited to get using some of that up. I wanna show you guys my pantry. So we're now in mid-February, and I've really stuck with the pantry challenge through all of January, and then so far the beginning of February. I have been buying my fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, but not anything else. Now I did go to Costco, and you guys will see that on next week's video. I did a Costco haul. It's not really a haul. We got a couple of things of groceries, but I haven't touched them yet. But you'll see that next week. I'm gonna show you guys. There's a little hint right there. Something that I had to go to Costco and get. And again, I'm in the pink room, so don't mind my face if it has a lovely shade of a fluorescent pink. So here's the pantry. It does not look super empty because I have honestly been filling it. Every time I get low on something, so like for example, my beans, I have just been canning them. The reason I like to do that in the winter and during a pantry challenge is because in the summer I have so much stuff coming in from the garden that I'm processing that I kind of save, like beans, soup, all of those things I save to can in the winter time when I don't have other pressing projects that have to get done. But we're definitely going through the salsa like crazy right now. Tomato sauce, I've been finding lots of recipes to use tomato sauce, which is really, really nice. And like the beans, again, I just keep recanning them. And then the broth, I've just done a whole bunch of batches of broth lately because, again, winter canning, that's so perfect to do in the winter. It heats the house up nicely to do that. So that's kind of an update on that. But, okay, pizza soup time. So what we have to do is we need to get 1 pound, I keep closing my phone here because I have the recipe on it. Let's find where it is here. Found it. Took a while. It got very, very lost in the website because it is a blog. I think she has like 15 freezer meals put on that one particular page. You kind of got to scroll down to find the one that you want. So I found it. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna get my cast iron nice and hot. I have a pound of ground beef thawed out. We are gonna cook that until it is completely cooked through. She says, cook the brown beef as directed and cook it until it is fully cooked and fully cooled. So we have to cook it and then let it cool down for a little bit because we're putting it all into a bag and we don't want that bag to get soft. So we're gonna cook it and then cool it a little bit and then we will be back. So while that is cooking and we're gonna wait for it to cool down a little bit, we are gonna get our turkey meatballs all started. Okay, I'm gonna put you guys here while we do this one so that you can see what I'm doing. So we're gonna get our turkey meatballs all started. So I'm gonna use 2 pounds of ground turkey. My turkey isn't like super lean. When I made my ground turkey, I did put quite a bit of fat in it. I would say maybe it's like an 80-20 mixture. So we have 1 other pound of ground beef. I'm just gonna put this in the fridge because we're gonna use this for tonight's supper. That ground beef is almost done. It just needs a couple more minutes. Okay, so I have my 2 pounds of ground turkey in here. And then I'm gonna add about half a cup, maybe 3/4 cup of my breadcrumbs. These are just some sourdough breadcrumbs that I've made. I just store them in the freezer. That way they stay fresh a little longer. That should be good. I think that's about 3/4 cup in here. Again, we have 2 pounds of ground turkey. And then we're gonna put in 1 egg. I'm gonna see how it is with 1 egg. I may end up adding a 2nd egg. Okay, so this is done. I'm just gonna take it off the heat because we have to wait for it to completely cool down. So I'm just gonna use my all-purpose seasoning blend. This is a blend of onion powder, garlic powder, smoked paprika, red pepper flakes, salt, pepper. I'm just looking in here because that's where my seasonings are, and ground mustard. And I just put them all, I mix them all together and then just do this. So I'm just gonna add maybe about 1 to 2 tablespoons of that in here. And then we're gonna do the messy thing, take our hands and get it all mixed in. I found that this is the best way to really get everything incorporated. Yeah, that 1 egg is fine in here. I don't think I need another one. Once you get it all mixed together, you can just make your meatballs. I like to put them on a lined cookie sheet and I put them in the freezer, like I flash freeze them. So once they're all individually frozen, then I'll just take them and put them in a freezer Ziploc baggie, and that is my meatballs. Sometimes I like to vacuum seal them, but honestly, I've been going through them so quickly that I am just putting them in a freezer bag. That way I can just take out what I need. And you can make them whatever size you like. This is just the size that we usually like to have them. Okay, I think the ground beef has cooled down enough. So what we're gonna do is, instead of just adding it all to the bag, I wanna actually add it to a bowl first and then stir it, and then we'll put it in the bag. I understand that it's making more dishes for myself, but we'll do it this way. So we're gonna add our cooked ground beef to this bowl. We're gonna add 3/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. It calls for half an onion, but we're just gonna use some granulated onion in this because I don't wanna use onion chunks. So I'll say maybe about 1 to 2 tablespoons. 4 cloves of garlic. So put in a pretty good helping. And then we need 3 cups of tomato sauce. I'm just using a very plain tomato sauce. It has no salt, no pepper, no seasoning at all, just plain tomato sauce. And then we need 3 cups of that. I'll just add in 4. We'll use the whole quart, it's fine. And then it calls for 3 cups of chicken broth. So we're gonna use 1 pint, and then we had that beef broth from left over from the other recipe. So we will top it up because this is only, it's under 2 cups. So we will top it up with the rest of this beef broth. Yep, brings it exactly to 3 cups. Add that in here. I don't know how this is all gonna fit in a gallon-sized bag. We'll see. And then we need a 1/4 cup of black olives sliced. 1 cup of mushrooms sliced. Oopsie! Shoot. That's fine. Just clean that mess up. I'll clean it up later. And then we need 2 teaspoons of dried oregano and 2 teaspoons of dried parsley. And then we're gonna stir it together, and then all we do is just add this to a Ziploc baggie. I'm curious to see how this is all gonna fit into one baggie. Hopefully it will. Okay, let's be very careful with this. It's not really how I roll, but we're gonna try. Falling out the holder. I only made a little mess, that's fine. Okay, I kind of got it a little bit cleaned up. So it says to take this bag and just lay it flat. It does fit all in here. It's a little bit. Try to take some of this air out. It says just to lay it flat like this to freeze. And then when you want to make it, just put it into a pot and cook it. I'm just in my garage putting everything into the freezers now. So that's gonna be it for today's video. We got so much done today, and I'm so excited to get all of these things in the freezer. I'm not usually one for freezer meals because I feel it takes up a lot of space, but the upcoming weeks I have a lot of major stuff going on that is going to kind of require me to have freezer meals available. So I am really excited that we got that done today, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you have a great day or night whenever you are watching this, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys.